Salt Lake City did that this week. Come on. Come on, Salt Lake City. First of all, and we've said this before, if you've been following our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recaps, then you know we've said season 1 and season 2 were stellar. We did not expect for this city that we don't really think about. We didn't expect a Salt Lake City in this franchise of the Real Housewives. But when we got it, we were like, this is interesting. And it's not just because of Mary Cosby. Although Mary Cosby offered us a lot. Okay, not a lot. I'm being dramatic. But she did offer us some moments in this episode, all right? But this episode, I was entertained, I laughed, and then I was triggered, and then I was thinking deeper on mother-daughter relationships. Then I thought to myself, okay, Monica's bringing more than just the tea on Jennifer, inmate Shaw. She's giving us her own personal story. I loved this episode. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Kempire channel. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to vote in our live chat poll on YouTube. But if you're watching on Facebook or Twitch or Twitter, be sure to share, follow, do all the things. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, even if you're watching on another platform. That way you're not missing out on any of the content, including our merch. Head on over to houseofkempire.com for all of our merch. This is just take a look at this. This is some of our merch now on the website, designed by moi, okay? houseofkempire.com, or go to TheKempire.com and click the shop button. Let's get into a countdown, and then let's get into this episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Let me know where you're watching from, and again, let me know your personal rating of the season so far of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lady. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Shout out to our channel members. To become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. And of course, shout out to our King's Guards holding us down on multiple platforms. We could not do this without them. So be sure to say hello to them as well. Thank you to everyone that donated to our breast cancer awareness fundraiser last month. I know it's November 1st. Like, where does the time go? But thank you to all of you that donated or shared our videos for other people to donate. We did reach our goal of over 2,500. I've got the final, I'll tell you guys at another time, but way over our goal of $2,500 for the Black Women's Health Imperative that we raised money for last year. Thank you so much for all of your generosity and support. We appreciate you guys so much. I won't ask you for another thing because I know the holidays are right around the corner. Right around the corner. And you know I'm ready. You know I'm ready. All right, so let's get into this episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I was just opening up my notes to remind me of some of the things. All right, so they open with this scene with Whitney and her husband, and to be honest with you, their marriage problems, although it might be real for them, it is boring for us. I'm sorry. I still don't know why he has the ring in the drawer. There's some sort of scheduling conflict, and she's like, okay, make an appointment for us to meet with the therapist. Sorry, Whitney, I don't care. I'm just being honest with you. Anyone else? You're like... I appreciate Whitney stirring the pot. I appreciate Whitney stirring the pot in every other scene, but I could care less about her personal drama with her husband. Let me move this back a little bit. I could care less. What I did want to mention in regards to the scene was the fact that she had a phone call with Mary Cosby so that they could meet up. And Mary Cosby in that phone call was already like, I don't know if I'm going to show up. Damn. But at the same time. So they're going to meet up because they have their issues. They're issues from season 2 that they have not resolved. But Mary is like, all right, I'll show up. But for how long? We'll talk. So in that scene, it's really mostly about Whitney and her issues with her husband and what's been going on there. Again, like I said, I don't care, so I'm not going to waste your time even delving too far into it. They do talk about her issues, I believe, with Meredith, but okay, whatever. Heather and Monica go snowmobiling. Again, this is another reason that I love Salt Lake City, why I love this particular show, is because there's so many different activities. Every season is like, just when we think skiing, snowboarding, they figure out another activity. 2 in this episode, they went snowmobiling and cross-country skiing. All right. But I have to say, this scene, which a lot of you saw before the episode aired because they shared it on social media and on their platforms, Bravo. And it was Monica revealing that her mom, when she was 12 years old, left her with these family friends in Philadelphia. Pennsylvania. I don't know if it was Philadelphia, but Pennsylvania, while she went to pursue her dream in New York City. Her dream to be an actress? Because the way she has been performing on this show and on social media, I'm not going to even read or rehash some of Monica's mom's stuff on social media in regards to her daughter. I'm not going to even give her the platform for it, because at this point, you're doing exactly what you have always been doing to Monica, and that is trying to take the spotlight. Now that Monica has this opportunity to be on a show that millions of people watch, now I feel like you're competing with your daughter. We've seen this before. We've seen this in Lifetime movies. It doesn't end well. She's competing with her daughter, and now that her daughter has this moment and opportunity, she wants a little bit of that too, because she feels as if this is her dream. I'm just saying, look, psychology degree activated. We will get there. But Monica reveals that, first of all, Heather, I really do enjoy Heather. I'm back to enjoying Heather this season. Anyone else? Last season, she was insufferable. But I'm back to enjoying Heather a little bit until she starts talking about Jack and his mission. Mind your business, Heather. Look, I appreciate her talking about it for our entertainment. However, in real life, mind your business. But Heather talks about how her relationship with her own mom is strained ever since she got a divorce, and how she, doesn't really have a relationship with her own mother, which leads to Monica opening up about her relationship with her mom. And she reveals that at 12, her mom dropped her off at this family friend. Mind you, the mom went on social media and says Monica knew these people. She was very close with these people. Okay, she's totally missing the point. You left a 12-year-old with people that weren't her family after she had already been abandoned by her father at 4. She justified, this was her on social media, Linda, was justifying this, saying, I left her with very close family friends. She really loved them. That doesn't take away that she wanted her mom. She didn't want these people that were family friends. Yeah, you like seeing them every once in a while, but dropping her off to live with these people, she's in the middle of her pubescent years. You're dropping her off so you can pursue dreams. And I feel as if, and Monica has talked about this in this episode, this has been a consistent thing with her mom. She's always sort of like running after something or someone and leaving her daughter to the wayside. We will explore this more because they talk about this at the end. So she reveals this to Heather, and I love this little interaction because it feels natural. It doesn't feel forced that's happening between Heather and Monica. And I would expect them to be kind of cool because Heather is kind of like down to earth and Monica's very down to earth. So I can see this friendship working. I get why Monica and Lisa Barlow don't see it for each other. You know what I mean? Lisa, speaking of Lisa, is a perfect segue. Well, first of all, Monica does get emotional rehashing because I'm sure no matter how you feel about Monica, if you were a child very similar to the way that Monica grew up, I think you can understand where Monica could come from. And I know some people are going to look at Monica, well, now you're grown. Yeah, a lot of you are out here with issues from your childhood, trauma from your childhood, acting out because of your childhood. Give her some grace. Look, come on. I know we're watching a show and some of you are like, it's better. Look, we're on our holier than thou thrones because our lives aren't under a microscope for all of us to review and recap. So I use my platform to give some of these folks grace sometimes. I'm not perfect. All right. Okay, maybe I am. Anyways, so John and Jack. So Lisa Barlow's son, Jack, is going on a mission. We find out in this episode where he's going to. Well, John went on a mission, and when he went on his mission, that's how he met Lisa Barlow, because her sister was in Vegas, and that's how she was introduced. She was introduced to him via her sister. You remember there were rumors that that John had something with Lisa Barlow's sister? She has denied that. She has denied that. So, but John gets emotional talking about his son's mission, and he talks about his own mission. He's pulling out all the scrapbooks about his mission and things like that. I mean, look, his mission was in Vegas. Heather's mission was in France. You just never know where you're going to go. I mean, some people get some cool places, and some people don't get so many cool places. I mean, shout out to Vegas. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be there. But Vegas is not my favorite place to be. Just saying. If I had to choose, I would definitely want to choose international. Anyways, so John gets emotional talking about this. Apparently, Jack told John 2 weeks before he even told his mom. And apparently, Jack told all of his friends before he told Lisa. So Lisa joins the conversation. We do not give Lisa Barlow enough credit for her delusional, unintentional humor. I understand whoever casted her met her and were like, oh my God, where have you been our entire lives? She is, look, in real life, would we hang out with Lisa? Would we want to be friends with Lisa? Some of you would want to be friends with her. Me personally, not so much. Not so much. However, she is great television. She's a great housewife. She is delusional. Okay? But she's also dealing with a son that doesn't want anything. He's a teenager. Some of you that have teenagers or have had teenagers, remember these years where they didn't want to be under you. They were not interested in telling you anything. And I don't see Jack and his behavior as him hating his mom. I see it more as he's a teenager. Because even at the end of the scene, you see him hug both his parents and he says that he loves his parents. But throughout this conversation, where Lisa constantly is bringing it back to her, and at one point she's bringing up, because she was like, I love that John said to Jack, please understand you can come home at any time. Because we have to keep in mind, in other Mormon families, this mission from the family is mandatory. All right? But for them, for Lisa and John, they didn't force this on their kids. Lisa would prefer that he didn't go on a mission. He decided on this on his own. But John wants to reiterate to him that if you want to come home, you can come home. And this is when Lisa decides to tell her story about her roommate. She's like, this is going to make sense later because this is what happened to me. I was just like, she is so delusional. Jack is just there like this. But I'm sure he's used to his mom. We are getting used to it as well and desensitized to it. But I just found her unintentional moments like that just so hilarious.
That's really upsetting to me, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't say that.
Lisa Barlow, you have my heart. You have grown on me. Look, you have grown this week. I can't promise next week what it's going to be. I can't promise you within this episode because you say something about Colombia that makes me go, I didn't expect that. Did she say that with a straight face? Okay. Look. All right. Shout out to Colombia. All right. So she says that Jack doesn't appreciate how she feels or what she thinks about. A lot of you have teenagers that feel the same way. I don't feel like it's anything new, but She's planning this sort of like big reveal, this big party. She says it's almost like a gender reveal where you find out where your mission's going to be. You know, she loves to throw a party. I can appreciate even the little tailgating that Meredith, Whitney, and Monica did, and Heather did after they went cross country skiing. I was like, Jackie Goldschneider, look out, even cross country skiing, they're able to give us a good nosh. Look, they're able to give us something good. Jackie, I hope you bring it this season of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, because I always look. Kenya, you too. Take a look. You're still able to host and do really great things, and people aren't hungry. Aaron for Real Housewives of New York. Oh my goodness. Anyways, speaking of which, Heather, Monica, Meredith, and Whitney go cross country skiing. As I said to you guys before, I can't imagine how many different snow-related activities are in Salt Lake City, but we always find a new one. And I appreciate it. We a couple of seasons ago, we were in these rusty bathtubs with hot water. There's always something going on in Salt Lake City. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. All right. I want to mention this conversation because Whitney says that cross-country skiing is something that her elderly neighbors do. She's funny, too, in her own right. I still feel like Heather and her relationship is not great. Because I think in earlier seasons, she would have never said or insinuated anything like this about Heather. I think they have just sort of made up for the show. I think producers were in their ear. You got to move on this season. Because I don't feel like they're still as tight. I don't. In my head. It's kind of like Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone on Married to Medicine. I don't feel like they've ever been the same since they're falling out. Just saying. All right, so Monica brings up she's renting this new Range Rover because every time her mom gets mad at her, her mom takes the car away. And this is how she takes the car away. She threatens her, like, if you don't get this car back here by this certain time, I'm going to call the police and told them that it was stolen. Honestly, guys, not that this has happened to me, but I know some people that have family members very much like this, that have mothers and aunties and cousins that are very much like this. They're vindictive and petty, like you would never believe. I've heard of stories. So I'm not completely I'm not shocked by this at all. So she says that, and everyone's just like, in this group is like, what? And she needs her car because she has young kids that she has to take to school. There's activities. So the fact that her mom holds this over her head. However, Monica's paying for this car. However, it's in her mom's name and under her mom's credit. That sucks. She could have at least co-signed, right? You know what I mean? But Monica then compares her mother to Ted Bundy. Well, honestly, guys, at this point in the episode, it's shocking. But then when you see the scene with Monica and her mom, Linda, at the end, you're like, accurate. Accurate. Right? Just saying. So one of the themes amongst this group, outside of Meredith, because Meredith says she speaks to her mom, she says that everyone here has some sort of like mommy issues. Whitney didn't talk to her mom for like 10 years. Whitney also believes that Meredith, okay, let's talk about this. So Whitney, she has some issues with Meredith this season, okay? So she says to Meredith that she's having this birthday party. She wants to invite you, but she's also inviting Angie. But, they have had their issues. And Whitney says that, well, Meredith, you're going around saying that you want to ruin Angie. And Meredith's like, I did not say that. Here's the thing. Whitney has been saying this season, and I don't necessarily disagree with her, that Meredith uses things that people can't argue with as excuses to get out of certain things. So she believes that whole crash where she could have ran off the cliff and she posted it on social media. She feels as if that is Meredith's way of avoiding talking about spreading the rumors about Sean, Angie's husband. I don't know. I feel like that's a reach because that accident really did happen. Whitney literally drove past it, not knowing that it was Meredith with the truck in the ditch. Did you try to help? No. Did you call? Were they getting help, or you just drove past like, ooh, sorry. Look, sorry for them. Like, did you send help? But I don't disagree with Whitney that I do feel as if Meredith does have a habit of taking these situations that's happening in her life that we don't even know about because she's not talking about it. And then she uses it as a way to kind of like, oh, we can't argue with that. But I don't think that's the situation with the Cliff situation. And damn you editors for keep editing when they talk about the Cliff situation and when Meredith gets emotional about it, the way that they edit this music and these scenes to make it humorous. Meredith did not like it when that first happened, when she first told the story about the almost driving off a cliff. She did not like the fact that the editors made it comical the way, and I don't blame her. Especially because I'm like, why are we making this comical? I mean, I appreciate it because she's here with us. Nothing happened. Like, we can look back on it now. All is good. All is well. However, we're still making it a joke a couple episodes later. All right. But Meredith is denying that she spread any sort of rumors about Angie's husband. Based off what we've seen, we haven't seen her say that. All we've seen Meredith say is that she has heard things and she doesn't want to mess. Don't mess with me. I don't feel like Meredith has spread anything. I think Meredith has literally just said, like everyone else, I know things. Don't test me, but I know things. The only person that really has said anything was Monica. But that's like a newbie mistake being used by someone like Whitney to say something on camera. All right. But Monica said that she's heard these rumors for a while on the streets of Salt Lake City. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Be sure to check out yesterday's recap of 90 Day Fiance, Big Brother, even some pop culture news for our Tuesday takeover. We have added the timestamp, so be sure to check that out and share it. Be sure to share that as well. And our short form content can be found both on TikTok, Instagram, and a different version can be found here on YouTube Shorts as well. All right. And someone just said to me yesterday that they noticed that they were unsubscribed. They don't recall unsubscribing. It's a thing here on YouTube. It's been like this for a few years. Just always double check to make sure that you're subscribed. I apologize if you are not able to chat with us in the live chat because you just realized that you're unsubscribed. So just double check that you're subscribed to the channel. And shout out to all of our 315,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and shout out to everyone that is following us on TikTok as well. So be sure to follow us there because we go live there separately sometimes for watch parties and things like that. All right, let me take a sip from my coldest water bottle. More information on how you can get a coldest water bottle, sheets, ice packs, and more are available in the description. And don't forget to use the discount code Kempire10 for 10% off. All right. Moving on from that scene. Speaking of Angie. So Angie has a scene at home with her dad. I don't mind these scenes with Angie by herself. You know, like when I was telling you about Marlo when she was at home by herself with the boys, the nephews on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I was like, they weren't interesting. And I'm not saying that Angie's scene at home by herself with her dad was the most interesting, but we're still getting to know Angie. And I always found it really interesting when we found out that her father ended up raising those 7 kids by himself because her mom died so young. And then she talked about it was hard for her to navigate her own marriage because she didn't grow up seeing an example of a marriage because her mom died so young. But the dad seems really sweet. He's sitting there trying to help her. They're making like traditional Greek foods and things like that. So it was nice to see her in the kitchen. I did find it interesting that the father said that you have to be stern with Sean. I was like, oh, you wouldn't expect the father to say that, but maybe his wife, maybe Angie's mom was pretty stern with him, and he appreciated that. I mean, boundaries are always important. And then we have this, and look, we have to remember this is an edited show. So when Sean comes in, he's like, oh, I'm going to go take a shower. The way that they edit makes it seem like he's closed off. They're disconnected. Anyway, you see what the editors are trying to do. But look at your own life when your partner comes in the door. Are they always going to be like, oh, hey, and engaging? And first of all, there are cameras here. He's probably like, I don't want to be on camera. I'm coming from work. I'm sweaty. I'm in my sweats. I just want to go back upstairs, take a shower, and relax. I really don't want to even be on camera, especially now because they're trying to spread rumors about me. I always try to bring some reality to these pre-produced shows that we're watching. You know what I mean? So I didn't hold this awkward scene of Sean coming in. He's like, hey, everybody, I'm going upstairs. I'm not holding it against Sean. I'm not. Or Angie, for that matter. But I did find her conversation about the way she grew up and how hard her father worked and how close she is with her father. I just find her story in regards to her growing up, her mom dying so young, and her father raising 7 children on his own. Wow. I mean, you don't see that a lot. You don't see that a lot. And I love looking at her home and being in the kitchen. I like it. I like it. That's the thing about Salt Lake City. We don't give Salt Lake City enough credit for being very diverse in regards to religion, culture, backgrounds. It's a very diverse show. It's very diverse and very different in comparison to some of the other cities. Okay. Not it being more diverse than Real Housewives of New York before the reboot, when you think about it. Just saying. Anyways, moving on. Whitney and Mary meet up at Provisions. Is this the same Provisions that they have in the Hamptons? Is it a chain? But this is a restaurant. The Provisions in the Hamptons is like a grocery store. But it's called Provisions. Maybe it's a thing. I didn't Google schmoogle it. You guys will let me know in the live chat. Or replay crew, comment section. Let me know. So they go to Provisions to meet up and hash out their issues. And like this was a short scene because as soon as Whitney apologized, but then said, are you going to own any of your stuff? Mary's like, own what? I did nothing. First of all, remember when I told you a couple of weeks ago at Lisa Barlow's party and the server did not want to put the food in. He didn't want to touch it with his own hands for Mary. And I told you I feel like people are scared of Mary. And I feel as if you saw Mary's reaction when the waitress spilled food on her. She was like, oh my God. Unintentionally funny Mary Cosby is. And that poor lady was probably nervous too. She was probably nervous trying to serve Mary Cosby. That energy's probably off the charts. But I have to give it to Whitney. Whitney apologizes, but then says, are you not gonna own some of your stuff too? And she's like, own what? At one point, she says Whitney one day is gonna end up with someone backhanding her.
Lies! The lie!
I was like, not backhanding her. Yeah, she says, and she said it might be me.
And see.
She says, and it might be me. Mary doesn't feel like she did anything wrong, and she's like, I'm putting on my jacket, and then she tells the waiter, she's like, can I get this to go? She's just doing these scenes for the food. Every scene, she's like, she wants to get the food, and she's like, can I get this to go? And here's the thing, though. In reality, if someone called you and your husband or your partner a predator, and look, it's not like Whitney is saying I really did believe that, or she's apologizing for it. And that's a big thing to call someone a predator. And some people might say, well, that's the truth. Look, okay, we're not diving into Mary's church right now because Mary is only a friend of the show. But that's a big accusation, and I can't blame Mary for being like, just apologize and maybe we can move forward. In this one scene, she called her a little girl and a bobblehead. I just can't. I can't. And then she said, she's going to get backhanded and it might be by me. Mary, I can't. Look, it's not right, but it's okay. Look. And poor Whitney's just sitting there in disbelief. And she's like, you're going to watch me walk away. Mind you, she's still seated. And then said, you're going to watch me walk away. Okay, Mary, first of all, they bring her, certain places they will pack the food for you. Certain places you'll have to pack the food yourself. She's like, can you pack this for me? She's like, sure. I mean, what are they going to say? No, it's on camera. They're not going to. So she just came there for the food. How long was this scene actually? Because this is an edited version, but how long actually was this scene? Right? I appreciated it, though. It was funny to me. I don't know these people. This is not real life for me. Is it real life for you? Oh, my goodness. Mary Cosby. They just need to bring her out at the very beginning of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion and just sit her there perch. She might fall asleep. She might say something randomly that has nothing to do with what they're talking about. But we need her out there through both parts of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion, please. Thank you. All right. Moving on. So Lisa throws this party for Jack, and it's a celebration and a reveal of where he's going to go for his mission. It was actually really sweet. It was nice to see all of these kids that are Jack's friends. They even had some family and friends on Zoom. I was like, she knows how to throw a party, Lisa. It doesn't matter if it's a kid's party or a big people's party. She knows how to throw a shindig, okay? And she's getting emotional. She asked the group about, who knew about this before we did, the entire room, basically. She makes a really beautiful speech about Jack. Then Jack makes a really beautiful speech about his family. And I love seeing his brother. His brother was like, when he first told, what did his brother say? I can't remember what his brother said in regards to his initial reaction. But he said after that, he was very supportive. I thought this was such I feel like this episode really was focused less on the group drama and more focused on everyone's personal story, which I appreciated a lot more than whatever's going on in the group. I really did. Okay. I thought that was interesting. We find out that he's going to Colombia, Bogota, Colombia, which I've never been. I would love to go. But people that live or watch in Colombia, I want to know your thoughts on what Lisa Barlow had to say about the pow, pow, pow. So she says in this confessional that I had friends, he was there and he was held at pow, pow, pow. And I can't say that word here on these platforms. But if you watch the episode, you know what I'm talking about. So she says that she assumes that that's going to happen to her son at least twice when he's working in Colombia. I've never been. I don't know the situation. And we understand around the world, there in every country, there's something different that people are going through and things that you need to look out for. I never heard about that in regards to Bogota, Colombia. I don't like to stereotype. I was kind of shocked that she said it, but at the same time, I'm not shocked because this is Lisa Barlow. But some of you that are from Colombia or that have been before will be like, no, she's right. I don't know. I want to hear from you guys, but I was like, I was like, wait, what? What? So he's going to Colombia. I'm happy for him because at least it's not, somewhere boring. You know what I mean? So that should be interesting. And I'm sure he will learn some Spanish, right? Because isn't that what Heather Gay did? She learned French when she was in France. Or maybe she was learning French beforehand, but I'm sure she tightened it up when she went there. Let's talk about this last scene. So this last scene is Linda and Monica meeting to talk about their issues. So as soon as Linda sees Monica, she's just like, and Monica's just like this. She's not falling for it. She's not falling. She's like, do you have any Tylenol? The waiter's coming over and she's like, can I have? And she's still just like this. Monica is not falling for it. Monica is over it. So we find out more history behind Monica, her mom, and her grandmother's history. So she's saying that her family has a long history of mothers and daughters not getting along and just not being wanted. She's saying that her grandmother didn't want a daughter. And she feels as if her mom, Linda, did not want a daughter either. So she says it stems from that. But here's the thing. Linda was giving me Mommy Dearest vibes. And I'm not even just saying like being perfection. It was like she switched from emotional, have a headache, hungry, to like angry. And I was just like, oh, we're seeing layers to the relationship between Monica and her mom. And I know some people are like, well, you know what? We all have situations in life that we are dealt, and we have to grow from that. And that does not excuse bad behavior on our part. I don't feel like Monica's necessarily showing bad behavior, but now I get her reaction at Angie's Easter brunch. She felt triggered about her mom abandoning her countless times. I'm sure the Pennsylvania situation was just one of many times. She brought up how her mom would have her in the trunk of the car and she's making out with some dude. She felt like her mom has abandoned and chose everything over her. And this stems from her mom's issues with her own mother. And I know some of you have similar stories with your own parents. So I appreciate Monica sharing this story on here because I think she's going to help other people that are in similar situations gain some sort of clarity or understanding, or at least some support. And I hope Monica is in therapy so that she doesn't pass this on subconsciously to her daughter. She's raising nothing but daughters. And I know she's making a concerted effort not to do that. However, I definitely think therapy is needed because there's a long history of the women in her family doing this to their daughters. And I would hate for her to subconsciously not even realizing that she's doing the same with hers. I don't think that she is, but that's why I say therapy is needed, because her mom is still in her life doing the same thing. She's still triggered by her mom, and she's still around her mom and her grandmother. I wonder how her grandmother is now. I wonder how her grandmother is as a grandmother versus how she was a mother to Linda, because she didn't want a daughter. It's interesting. I have to say, just watching it, like we had some really funny, great moments earlier in the episodes, but like this Monica and her mom situation, like this scene, like it got really hot and volatile. Like it went from like, to, I need a Tylenol, to like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then called her by her original name. And she's like, you're calling me that name because that's how you see me, as that person. And I'm no longer that person. And her mother's doing that same behavior on social media. And I'm not saying that her mom's a bad person. I think her mom is doing what she felt as a daughter to a mom that didn't want her. Just saying. But I'm interested. I didn't realize how much personal story we were going to get from Monica. But so far, Monica is bringing it. She is helping carry the season along when it comes to all the issues happening within the group, but her own personal story. We still I remember where I saw this past week where Monica basically said that her husband didn't leave her because she slept with her sister-in-law's husband. I can always never remember like the whole connection there. Her story, we're just at the surface of Monica's story because we haven't even really gotten to her marriage. We haven't even seen her ex. I wonder if we ever will see her ex on the show. I guess we'll see. Damn, Monica is carrying the season. What do you guys think? How would you rate this episode, everyone? If I had to rate this episode, 9s. 9s across the board. I would say 10. I mean, it was close. 9.5. I'm going to give it a 9.5. It was a good episode. It was definitely a good episode because it had many layers of depth to it. Both funny, humorous, story, history, religious. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good episode. I said this to myself as I'm watching. I was like, I'm enjoying the season more than Orange County. And Orange County was a good season. Don't get me wrong. But it wasn't a great season. I feel like this is a great season so far for Salt Lake City. I'm going to have to attend their panel because I got to see what they say and their reaction to things. Guys, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Shout out to our channel members as well. To become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. Shout out to those of you, I've seen quite a few becoming members in the last couple of weeks. We appreciate your monthly support. It helps keep the lights on here in the Kempire studio. And of course, we could not do our live shows or our replay crews without our moderators, our Kingsguards holding us down. Be sure to say thank you to them for being here as well. And if you would like a sweatshirt like mine, head on over to houseofkempire.com or a hat. Look at the hat, y'all. Look at the hat. Limited edition. Limited edition. This is all embroidered. All of this is embroidered. Quality. Okay? Quality. Head on over to houseofkempire.com. And for everything Kempire, including our podcast, Kempire Radio, head on over to TheKempire.com. And for more information on our sponsor for today, Coldest, head on over to the description of the video. Don't forget to use the discount code Kempire10 for 10% off of your order. As I said to you guys before, it is BravoCon week, so I will be quite busy. So I will be trying to churn out some content, but it won't be the same level of quantity that you normally get these next couple of weeks. So stay tuned because I am going to California right after BravoCon. All right. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you all being here. Let's get out of here with some music. Don't forget to like the video. How many likes are we at, people? Let's get those likes up. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And if you're part of the replay crew, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know how you would rate the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City latest episode and the season so far, and your thoughts on this latest episode, and maybe something that we didn't talk about. Let's talk about it in the comments section. Let's get out of here, y'all, with some music.